So these are my Warrior G6s, and I was considering doing a what's in my bag sort of video, but instead I got myself some Koho 550s. Obviously, like a lot of goalies, grew up watching Potvin, and you could probably have figured from my mask. But I've been after these Koho 550s for the longest time. I've always kind of and hot about it, and finally decided just to go for it. And considering they're from like the mid 90s, pretty good condition. Now I plan on using them in a game, not regularly, but I am fixing them up a little bit, and I'll get into the condition of these. Considering the age of this, and the material is actually in pretty good condition. You can see here that the graphics, all stitching is pretty good. Overall, the material is in good condition. The T obviously is bent and will have to be fixed. There's a lot of finger curl right there. You can kind of see it, but it snaps really well. It doesn't feel broken, the internals, like the internal plastics, but it's definitely warped. Eyelets mostly okay. Webbing pretty good. Obviously these were old and it was dirty. Like, this is better than what it was before. I did the OxiClean bath soak, and as you can see, it was brown. That picture wasn't even as brown as what it actually was. That was like as soon as I poured the water. So anyways, glove overall pretty good. It has to be fixed up a bit. It's the T, some of the eyelets, and the finger curl. That will be fixed up. Moving on to the blocker. Overall graphics, again, really good condition considering the age. If I'm going to use this in a game, I'm going to be so afraid for my fingers because this is not much padding. And it's bent, of course. The glove, though, is like bad condition. Like, it's ripped everywhere, all inside. Stitching is obviously a little loose. It's old, it's kind of hard, and it's cracking. When I did the soak in OxiClean, bits of leather was like just streaming out of here, like it was just like breaking up. So obviously getting repalmed, and hopefully it'll be better and enough to play at least maybe once or twice in this. Now on to the best part, the pads. The pads are great condition, actually. Like, there's a lot of discoloration over time, and then I think the person who owned this before would put blue leather dye, but obviously it would be tough to color match these, right? So maybe needs a little bit of glue, but the pad is in really good condition, much better than some of the other ones I've seen, and it's just beautiful. Like, look at that graphic. Ugh. Let's take a look at the leg channel. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. A lot different than my Warriors, I can tell you that. Although the outer leg is like, there's like no protection besides like this thin piece of flexible foam. That's about it. So covering that post will be interesting. I tried these on with knee pads and my skates just the other day, and they were a little short. However, I can boost it up so that my knee lands flush into the stack if I just do a Lundy loop, which thankfully I think I can. The strap has been cut down, so I'll have to replace the strap with a longer one. So I could do a Lundy loop, and it'll raise the pad up my leg a little bit, so it'll at least fit a little taller to where it should be. Let's just put this mask with it, actually. Take a good look at that. Beautiful, just beautiful. So I'm about to bring it tomorrow to get it repaired. Repalming, fixing the catcher toe, the catcher finger curl. I was gonna say toe curl. But yeah, I plan on using these in a game. You'll see what those repairs look like in a few days. So it's 3 weeks later. Finally got the pads back and the gloves and everything. It just took a little bit longer because they're waiting on some parts, but overall they're back, and this is how they turned out. We'll start with the glove first, and since that one had like major finger curl before, and then the T was all bent, but it has since been reinforced. Let's see what he did. It's been reinforced in the palm. The finger curl has been fixed. Basically, the pieces inside were all broken. The T has been fixed. He couldn't put a plastic insert, but just use like a kind of like a leather, like they used to maintain the shape. It closes really well. Everything looks good there. There was a torn up old pad here before, and then it's been replaced with this Nash one. It's going to be velcroed out to wash and everything. Otherwise, the glove is good. No issues here. Onto the blocker. Everything about the blocker, there were so many issues with that one. The palm was real leather and it was disintegrating. Like there was holes and it was falling apart. It was cracked. I did an OxiClean bath with it and it was brown water, like I mentioned. And there's literally pieces of leather just breaking off every time you just sit in the water. So that needed to be replaced. Let's see how it looked. So you can see no longer the leather palm, which I did like that it was brown, like a tan. Kept the old school, but now it's just a brand new palm, which is fine. It's a lot more comfortable. It's sanitary. Yeah, so that was nice. Finger protection has been fixed up. It was nothing before, so brand new finger protection. And on the index, the binding was replaced here and fixed up, so that's brand new binding. There was pad skin layered on top to cover up the ripped binding, the pre-existing ripped binding, so that's been taken out and then the binding was fixed, like I said. Plastic reinserted into this little finger protection area on the inside sidewall. Otherwise, yeah, that's about it. I was mostly concerned about the blocker, so that was a nice little surprise there. It looks good enough to use in a game. So, well, moving on. Moving on to the pads. There wasn't actually a lot of issues with the pads. It needed new boot straps because that was cut short and I was going to use it as a Lundy loop through my skates. Unfortunately, you couldn't get a blue leather strap. Apparently, they don't really make them anymore. Not very common. I think Vaughn does. But you just put it with a black strap, which I wasn't too concerned with. Yeah, those are the pads. So that's about it for the gear. I'm going to be taking them out at my last summer shinny skate this coming Monday, or next week Monday. And so I'll be breaking them out. I'm going to bring the cameras and hope for the best. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, I really enjoyed getting this set together finally after so long. And I can't wait to bring them out. See you next game.